So I remember the day very well. I'll never forget this day, 27th of August. I got here. I got to the UK. I got to Heathrow Airport. New place, new environment. I was lost. Where am I going from here? Very sad moments for me. My blood pressure, let's say, failed me for my first attempt. So I was failed. They said I should go back, go to the hospital, and make sure the doctor checks me. That's the one thing. That's one good thing about the army. They don't let you go just like that.
How did you hear about the British Army?
But then the most important thing is how to get a visa. Okay. That's one very important thing.
So when you found out you had to go back home and do tests with a private doctor and everything, how were you feeling?
So literally I had just 1 month or 30 days to prepare. So
when you got to the airport, you had to go through immigration.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about your experience at immigration? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Tony and this is Tony's Diary. In today's video, I have a friend who just passed out from basic training and is now a British soldier. He's also from Ghana. So without talking much, let me introduce him and then we'll get straight into the video. Let's go! Congratulations on being or becoming a British soldier. So yeah, first of all, what were you doing in Ghana?
So before I came, I just finished uni. Just hustling between jobs, looking for jobs to do anything that will bring money. As you already know, the hustle in Ghana, sell small phones. If you get some sneaker, you just sell them. If it's shirt, you sell it. So anything that brings you money, allegedly, that brings you money. So before the opportunity came, I was introduced to it by my big brother. I should apply, and I applied, and I left it around, I think 2023. Yeah, around April, around this time. Yeah, left it 6 months. Gone. But yeah, that was what I was doing, just normal.
What uni did you attend?
Oh, I went to Leg. I University of Ghana, the premium university, as you know it already. Leg, yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, the reason why I brought him here to talk about his experience is because obviously my experience was 5 years ago, which is kind of not relevant today. The processes are different and all that. So I brought him here because he is the latest. He has the latest information on how to join and everything. That's why I brought him here to talk about his experience as well, so that will be more useful to you guys out there who want to join currently. So yeah, let's get back into the story. Yeah. How did you hear about the British Army?
Okay, so my elder brother was in the army as well.
Okay.
I have friends and family who are in the army, they were here. So they told me about it. And they said they opened the application for Commonwealth guys around this time. So whenever they open it, I should apply. And then they showed me the guidelines, all the steps in which I should use. Because, every year the process changes. There's a little bit tweak and turn. So my time, I think, you apply, you follow, you fill in all the details that is necessary. Then you wait for them to reply, and then back and forth. You always make
how did you know the army was recruiting? How did you know it was open?
So that's what I was saying. My brother told me that it's open. Around that time it was open. He told me that it's open because he's been here and he's also in the army. And I think people told me that it's open. And when I checked on the internet, so I saw that it's open. So on
the internet, you checked. Where did you check on the army website?
Yes, I checked on the army website, and then it showed that it was recruiting, as my brother was saying, they were recruiting. And then I followed the process from there.
Okay. So let's move forward to where you actually got your. So you filled in your application, you went through all the processes. Obviously, when they ask for a document, you have to upload it, and then they'll come back to you. Depending, there's no timeline, so it depends. Sometimes a few weeks, sometimes a few months. When did you get or how was it like when you got your invitation?
Okay, so when you do something that brings reward, you're happy. Everybody's happy. So when I got my invitation, I remember I got it around early part of August. Yeah, early part of August 2025, right? 2024. Yeah, early part of August, and then I had to come on assessment on the 30th of September. Okay. So I was very happy. I don't know if I can talk about the process of getting the visa, but
please do.
Yeah. So I got in touch with one of my brother's friends over here, and then he gave me the process. That's the most important thing, how to get a visa. That's the most important, because they tell you that they won't sponsor your visa, and then they've also given you a time for you to be here for your assessment date. So you are torn between a rock and a hard place. You have to find your way. That's the beginning of something called mental resilience in the army. That's where it starts from. That's what people don't know. When you get in, they'll tell you more about it. So I had to find my way. I tried. I applied, did 1 or 2 things in Ghana, got some documents I needed, got help, bank statements, because I wasn't working, so I didn't have a bank statement. So I got a sponsorship from my auntie who helped me to do it, to give me a bank statement and all the information I needed. And we went through the process, and then I applied for the visa, and then God willing, I got the visa. And then I was ready to come before the 30th of September.
Did you sponsor that yourself, or the army actually helped?
The army didn't help. I sponsored everything myself.
So that was all your cost?
All your costs. Okay. But it's worth it. It's a worth cost. Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about you coming to the UK for the first time. How was the experience?
So I remember the day very well. I'll never forget this day, 27th of August. I got here. I got to the UK. I got to Heathrow Airport. New place, new environment. I was lost. Where am I going from here? I was just following. Luckily, I got some Ghanaians on board who are doing their own thing. So you just patrol. Where are you going? Where are you going? Oh, yeah, let's pass it. So I followed them, and I called my brother that I'm in town. Then he came to pick me. Before I came, one of my friends I met because of application and things, he told me that at the airport they ask a lot of questions, and then immigration is sometimes tough, especially in Heathrow. So when I was coming, I had prepared myself for every question to ask me. So when I got there, the immigration officer asked me, "What are you here for?" Because on my distance has a student. They're like, "What are you here for?" I said, "Oh, I'm here for my British Army assessment date." And he said, "Okay, where?" And I told him that Lichfield. That's why I went to Lichfield. And he asked me, I told him 6th of September. And then he wanted to see some proof that's here. So I showed him the army gives you an invitation letter and then the date and everything. It's like, okay. He said, welcome. So that letter was about less than 10 minutes conversation, but that conversation was a determining factor if I enter UK or not. So just tell them the truth why I'm here, and then show them all the documents they want to see, and they'll let you in.
So that's the most important thing. Just be truthful and bring as many supporting documents as you can, and you'll be fine. Yeah. So now you're in the UK. You came because you are about to attend your assessment. Yeah. How were you preparing towards the assessment?
So before I even came, my brother told me that start running because it's very demanding. What
do you mean by phase?
I'm running a lot of cardio exercise, a lot of running because it's all about running and how to build your stamina. Because on the assessment they tell you that you have to do a bleep test. I don't think 5 years ago you guys did bleep test, or you did.
So during the assessment we didn't do the bleep test.
Yeah, it was
but
2K. Yeah.
Obviously we did bleep test
later on
in basic training. Yeah.
So our recent time, that's what they do now. They do bleep tests, and then depending on your job role, you do the bleep test according to your job role, but we'll come there later.
So if you guys don't know what a bleep test is, basically it's kind of like a sprint for it's not a sprint, it's a shuffle. It's a shuffle. I have a video on my channel talking about the bleep test and actually showing you guys how the bleep test is done. Yeah. So if you are interested in that, you can go and check my channel, and all about the bleep test is there. So let's continue.
So from the day I landed on the 27th, the next day we're back on running because I needed to acclimatize with the weather. And I think around that time it's just summer, late going into winter. Yeah. So the weather became a little bit cold and dicey, and I had to acclimatize. I have to run in a cold weather to be able to sustain my breath and open my lungs for it. So the next day my brother and I think yourself, that's why I got to meet you for the first time. You guys started giving me what to do, where to run to. So I started running from the first little dumbbells because it has to do with mid-thigh pull. So a little dumbbells weight, and then more running, more cardio running.
So what kind of distances were you doing in terms of running?
So 5K run probably under 30 minutes. Because when you're new, it's gonna be difficult. So under 30 minutes, you try to hit like 5K, or you start little 2K, 2 kilometer, 3 kilometer, mostly 2K. You have to do it under some time. So you start small, you start building small. And at some point, you start doing sprints running, like Usain Bolt type of run, sprints running. Then you do more normal runs and normal shuttles. So that's why I started from gradual process, jogging, running, sprinting, those type of cardio exercises to help open your lungs and then to help you run faster, because that's what it's about. Yeah.
So what he means by sprinting is interval training. Basically you sprint or explode you sprint for a certain distance and then jog for a bit and then sprint again, jog, sprint. It helps a lot. So let's talk about your assessment experience as well.
Okay, good. So that's a good. I have a story about that. That's very interesting. So when you get here, obviously you call your CSM and then you tell them that you are here, and then they'll tell you that okay, good, you are here. So they'll rebook you. Mostly they rebook you for another days for the assessment. So I was rebooked for I think October 2nd for my main assessment. Instead of 30th of September, I was taken to October 2nd or 3rd. Yeah, around those. It's a 2-day program. So 3rd and 4th, or 2nd, 3rd and 4th, thereabouts. Yeah. So the day comes, I go to Lichfield. Before that, you get to know your job role, so you know what you're preparing for. You learn about your job role. Most of us, I was offered Remy.
Okay, really?
Yeah, Royal Electrical Mechanical Engineering. So I was like, oh, good. So you learn about it. you prepare, you run. So my first time I went to Litchfield.
How did you get to Litchfield?
So before you come, the army through your CSM will book a train ticket to you, depending on the assessment center you're going. So they booked an assessment center ticket for me, a railway ticket for me, and then I went. So I got the ticket in, and then before you come, you send them. When you get here, you tell them where you are. Maybe if you're in where you are right now, Leicester, you tell them I'm in Leicester, I'm in this house, and then they get to know the closest train station to you. Then they'll do the tickets for you and then send it to you through mail. Then you get it, then you print it, then you follow the steps from there. So I get to Litchfield, I meet a lot of people. I meet a lot of Ghanaian brothers who also come for assessment. So day one, you do your medicals, very important, medical. So that's my story. Begin. Unfortunately for me, my day one, my assessment, I had a problem medically.
What was that?
My blood pressure was too high, and that's a lot of things that happen with us from Commonwealth because of change in conditions. Sometimes the pressure spikes, goes up a bit. So
sometimes it could be nervousness
as well. Nervousness because you really want to do this, because we know why we are here. We really want to do this and pass it. So they give you ways and means for you to come back, because they understand human resources, that human resources is important. So they gave me the guidelines. The doctor over there told me what I should do, gave me the information, and then I should go to my GP, my doctor over here. Then he monitors my blood pressure, signs it off that I'm good to go. So sad moment I'll never forget in my life. That moment I came back home, so I couldn't do my bleep test and also my med-typo for that one. So on the October 1, the first.
So you did the medical first.
So you do So you do your medical first before you even start the fees. They make you to make sure that you are very fit to go. No. Your ears, your eyes. They take your blood sample and then little things to make, and then they check your blood pressure, most importantly, your BP. Okay. So when they checked it, my mine was too high for the standard they needed. I think they need 140, a little bit under 140. I was way above that because of nervousness and all those things. So it was very devastating. I'm not going to lie, it's a very devastating moment because you plan that you want to hit this one once and for all, and then this unfortunate situation happens that is beyond your control. It's beyond the army control, because the army, what the army is about is they are very particular about your health. So if they say anything small, go and fix it and come back. It's not only me, some of the foreign boys we met, they also had problems that had to go and fix and come back. That's one thing about the army, you go and fix and you come back, they don't let you go. So that was a very sad moment for me, because I have to come back and tell the family that this has happened. But luckily for me, I had a very supportive family who understood, because we've been there before. So when I called, before I even go home, I called that, this is what has happened. And like, don't worry, come back. We will book an appointment with you. Bring all the information the doctor from Litchfield gave you. We'll book an appointment with the GP, and then we'll take it from there. So they wanted over a month reading, or a month.
Okay. So the monitoring.
Monitoring. So the doctor here monitored me for a month, put machines on me, we monitored. And then with that, I was still doing my training, because I had to continue with phys. And it gave me more time to continue with phys as well.
So guys, don't be disheartened when you attend your assessment and you are failed because of medical reasons. There's always another chance to go and rectify whatever is wrong with you. Sometimes, if it's really that bad that you cannot get back into the army, it's for good reasons. So let's talk about.
So my second assessment. So now assessment comes. I go, because I've done the medicals, I didn't have to do the medical part of it again, because I've cleared that one already, and then I've gotten a report from my GP. So I went straight, instead of 3 days, I think, or 2.5 days, I just went 2 days. So when I went straight into the bleep test. But unfortunately for me, because the job role is not static, it changes. So now my job role changed to Royal Guards Infantry, and I said, okay, no problem, I'll go and do it. So when I went to smash the bleep test. I smashed it, and then also I did a cognitive. There's a cognitive part. I did the med-typo, and I did everything. I think everything I needed. So when I went, and then we finished, you do your bleep test, you do your team tax as well. Those three, because the team tax is very important to them as well. A lot of obstacles you have to maneuver and change with your group. It's not just only you.
Test. So let's talk about the cognitive test. People have been asking, what's the cognitive test? How difficult is it? Like, what's it about?
So cognitive test is not very difficult. It's just to measure your level of thinking and reasoning. So sometimes some of the questions are just very simple questions. You have to just think a little bit for you to answer. So Some of the questions can be simple math, like maybe what is 5 times 10 divided by 2 by something. It's very simple math questions that are very tricky, just to measure your cognitive reasoning. The English is same. They'll just put some words together and tell you to rephrase it or put them right where they're supposed to be, and shapes and all those things, and then how to match shapes and all those things. So they're very simple. It's very simple, but people fail. I know someone who failed. One friend I came who failed, who because of that couldn't get into that one. He passed the bleep test, passed everything, but because of that he couldn't get into that one because he failed it cognitive, not just once, like 3 times.
Wow.
Yeah, so he's gone back to Ghana, and then that's one sad moment because I came with him. I remember I came with him. We were happy. We did everything together. So cognitive, it sounds very difficult, but it's easy. And there's one moment that can make you go through honors because it's very important to them. You don't have to be the best. They want to just measure your level of cognitive, and then every trade you are going for has this marks you need to make. So it's not really something that should scare you. Just be prepared. And then there are examples online that you can follow. So when you go on the Army website, there are videos and examples online, like myself. That's what I did. And then it helped me. And then when you go, even sometimes when you go assessment and you get a good leader who leads you, they teach you how to simply do it. So that's basically all. That's basically all it's about.
Yeah, because I remember for the cognitive test, I remember a question like, choose the odd one out.
Yes.
So they put maybe a car, a motorbike, and a tree. What's the odd one out? It's simple like that. Yeah. Yes. And also depending on the score, like you said, depending on the score you get during all your tests, it gauges what kind of job roles that will be available to you. You get it. Yeah, so that's how it works. And also with the cognitive test, there's a set time and you have to answer as many questions as you can. So it's not about answering 10 out of maybe 20 questions. No. They give you a time and then you can answer as many questions as you can.
The more you take, once they told us, the longer you take on an answer, the less you get a score.
Yeah.
So when you see it quick and your answer is quick, the bigger the score. If you get it correct, the bigger the score you get. Yeah.
Let's talk about the team task as well, because that's one very important thing that we Ghanaians don't really are not used to.
Yeah.
And during my time, I was really advised by a friend who had already attended the assessment, and he told me that you need to be really, really vocal when it comes to the team task.
Yeah. So as you're saying, the team task is basically to measure your level of command and leadership skills. That's what they want to see. So there are 3 sets of tasks they make you do. Sometimes they pull some logs. You have to move the logs into a different position, and you have to move you with your team into the position when it's more visible when you see it. Yeah. But one thing they used to measure is your level of teamwork, how you can work with someone, and your leadership skills, and how to communicate to someone, and how you understand basic simple instructions, and how you can build on basic simple instructions, because the Army is all about instructions and how you can build on it. Because they tell you we are going here, they don't tell you how to get there. You have to find your way to get there. But they need you as a team. Yeah. And then in time bound, they are time bound. One time about them, they don't tell you much. We are going to point A, get to point A as a team. You don't go without a man. So basically there are tasks and then things you have to move about, and then you move them.
Don't be shy.
Yeah.
Shyness is what kills us as
Africans. Yeah.
So let's move forward to your interview bit. So that's kind of the last thing
we do as assessments. Okay, good. So as I was saying, my trade was like guards. That's what I got. My trade. I go into the interview with the interviewer, fine gentleman. He asked me my name. We have a conversation. One thing they want to see is not about, yes, you have to know where you are going and how important the trade is, but it's more about how you can communicate as well. So I went, to be honest, we talked less about the trade. We spoke about football, what I like, why am I here, and all those things. We had a very casual conversation as to a very formal job role interview. But there was a problem with my distance. So my trade, after the interview and everything, he liked me. I don't know why. So fortunately for me, my trade was changed from infantry to Royal Guards to Royal Artillery. So I went to Royal Artillery. So I was changed right after the interview. He came to tell me that he has changed my cap badge, or where I'm going to Royal Artillery. I was like, oh, okay, fine. So I ended the interview. When I went there as a guard or infantry guy. I came out as an artillery guy. That's the one thing that's happened. That's something that happened over there.
Like I was saying, when you go for your interview, the interviewer has all the results that you compiled during your assessment period. So from there, that's where he sees if because you are already assigned a trade before going for assessment. But once you get there and you do all your tests and you go for the interview, the interviewer now looks at your results and looks at the other job roles that are available to you. So in his case, even though he was given infantry, the interviewer realized that, okay, this guy has got this score and there are other better jobs out there that he can do that will be much more useful to the army than just being in the infantry. That's why they give him the Royal Artillery.
Basically, yeah. So I went there and I came out as an artillery guy. So okay, so I'm done. I come out, I pass, I get my certificate that I pass. And then one thing happened again. Fortunately, sometimes it's not everybody it happens for. I get out and I get a call from my CSM. That's okay, good. The man this is what has happened. So there's an available date to go for training in December last year, or I should wait to this year, January, before I go.
So basically you have two options. Either you go for the one in
December, winter course, yeah, or I should wait and come around this time, which is known as summer course.
Not forgetting that he's already on a visitor
visa. Yeah, so my visa was dying in February as well. So I needed to make a very quick decision. I told my CSM, because it doesn't happen that you finish and then less than 1 week you're going to training. It doesn't happen. Mostly takes months. So my CSM was like, she's just seen my visa, because they can see your visa. She has all my information. My visa is dying in February. Do I want to go to? She gave me the option. Do I want to go to? Because whatever the interviewer wrote was a very good thing. So she's even impressed with me. Do I want to go for assessment on the 8th of December?
You mean basic training?
Sorry, basic training. Yeah, basic training on the 8th of December. I want to go to this year around this time where people are going. And I told her that I have nothing to do. She should put me on in December. So from my assessment to my going to training was less than a week, because I went on assessment on the 2nd of December. On the 8th of December, I was in training academy Winchester. Yeah, so
all right. So in his case, he was very fortunate. Because in my case, after my assessment, the next available date to go for basic training was like 3 months later. And my visa was expiring in 2 months' time. So guess what? I had to go back to Ghana out of my own money. Well, not my money, I didn't pay for it. But you get what I mean?
Yeah.
At my own cost, go back to Ghana, apply for another visitor's visa again, and come back to the UK before I was able to attend my basic training. But with him, he was very fortunate. He got a chance to attend basic training just after a week of passing assessment. So everyone's situation is different.
Very different. As you're saying, one of my friends, one of the Ghana boys I went to meet, in the very first one I failed, he's same. So he just had to go and come back. So he's not about to start his basic training. So the same story as he was saying, it happens. You usually, even some of the foreign nationals or the indigenous, none of them got assessment date the same day I got assessment date. It doesn't happen like that. So it takes months for them to process you. I was very fortunate to get an assessment a training starting date in the same week. So when I came back home, I was getting ready to go to training, to start my basic training. So I went Winchester. I
have a few questions before we end this video. How do you dress for your assessments?
So they tell you what to wear. Sometimes they tell you to wear semi-formal or even something sporty. So maybe a tracksuit and tracksuit type of a sporty thing. So I remember when I got the information, they said it was a very semi-formal dress or a sporty type of wear. So you have to be very sporty, because you don't know if you're going to start the assessment the same day or not, but you have to be very ready for it. So I think I had on a sporty wear, my tracksuit and my shoes, my trainers, and a few clothes and my wash kits.
Okay, because in my case, I dressed formally. I put on a suit and everything, and I had sportswear in my luggage, so you could change. Because on the final day, when I went for the interview I wanted to look formal.
Yeah,
so I
had to use smart casual for the interview. I did same. I had my smart casual in my bag, so I changed for the interview. Yeah.
All right. Any advice to guys out there who want to join the British Army in 2025? Obviously, the Army is not recruiting currently, but just in case the applications are open, what advice do you have for people coming from Ghana or any Commonwealth countries?
So it's very simple. The advice I have for everybody, when they open, when you want to do it, it's not when you really want to do it. When the application is open, just fill the forms, and then keep on following and tracking it. If you want to, just keep on tracking and believing it will work for you. Believe it will work for you. So that's what I have for you, and be resilient, because that's where the mental resilience starts from.
Do you want to give out your social media handle or something?
So my name is Jefferson Yabanya.
Okay.
My snap is deferral _123.
So If you enjoy the information we're giving you in this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Watch out for the next video where we'll be talking about his experience during basic training. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.